Welcome back to Color Me Impressed. I'm Emily, and today I'd like to share my completed pages for April with you. So I didn't get too much coloring done in April, but definitely better than March, so I'm happy about that. I have about maybe 10 books that I'd like to show you pages in. So let's jump right in with this first book. This is Erie's newest book, Fairy Tales, and I actually had a buddy color in this book from March that I finally completed in April. It is this page right here. This was a buddy color with Jamie from JamiesColoringLove, and it was for my hashtag Erie Expedition 2021. That is a color along that Michaela Renee and I are doing all year long. It started in March and will continue through the end of 2021. So I encourage you to participate and get into some of those Erie books that you've been wanting to get into. This page was done, I would say half in Distress inks and half in Polychromos pencils. So what I did was kind of just based everything in Distress inks. I kind of like the effect, that kind of soft pastel effect that I got. I just used those, I don't have them on me, but those little makeup blender brushes to kind of achieve that soft look. So I pretty much did everything in a very light base coat of Distress inks, and then you'll see I kind of went through on the edges of things with pencil to just shade things up a bit. And I'm not an expert at shading or blending whatsoever, so I kind of just go on the outlines of things, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with how it turned out. And then I also did just some of the detailing in metallic jelly rolls. So that was a fun one to do. It really sped up the process by using Distress inks as a base, so I would recommend that if you get intimidated by Erie's books because they're double-sided. So maybe try your Distress inks and see how you like those. And again, that was from Erie's Fairy Tales book. The next thing I colored is from Maria Trolle's Twilight Garden. This was a lovely gift from Shaina over at Shaina in Colorland, and I wanted to show my appreciation by coloring a page in this book. I found it so hard to choose a page to color because they're all so beautiful, but I ended up coloring this bunny rabbit for Easter. So with this, I had a lot of fun with it. I like to do a lot of coloring while I'm watching things on TV, and pencils are always good when you're watching TV because you can stop and look up and not worry about any streaking or anything like that. So that's kind of how I completed this page piecemeal. I think I just pretty much did one color at a time while I was watching TV. And I just did very simple shading on here. I really enjoy doing leaves and foliage with my very basic shading. So I had a good time with that. Kind of mix it up a little bit for each type of leaf. The only other thing I will say is that I kind of left this little piece of, I think it's kale or chard. I left that piece for last, and I thought it was a flower. That's why I colored it purple. And then I realized once everything was done that it was a piece of kale or chard. So we're just gonna say it's rainbow chard and be on with it. I don't know why I colored it purple, but that's what happened. Everything else, I do like how it turned out, but that annoyed me at the end, so it's fine. I still had a really good time coloring in this book. The Polychromos pencils work very well on this paper, so I really enjoyed that. And that was from Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. Okay, I went a little bit crazy with Yippee Kwaye from Dani Banani. I did several pages in this book because I am trying to allow myself to get the second book, so I want to color more in this book. So let's go to the first one here. Whoa. Okay. So again, these were all colored while I was watching TV. I've been really into watching Pretty Little Liars with Danielle from Dani Buttons. And so I thought it was very fitting to color her favorite book, Yippee-Ki-Yay, while watching that show with her. So, I don't know, all of the colors in the next couple pages I'll show you are kind of weird because I tried to make them pretty true to whatever color they are in real life, and the color palette doesn't always go. And I was also working with Bic intensities, the extra fine, ultra fine, whatever they're called. So I had a limited palette of colors to choose from as well. But I actually find that very satisfying to find the right colors when it's a limited palette to choose from. So this is my fruit page. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of sparkle as well from the Jelly Roll Stardust that I use. Then I also did Movie Madness. And my partner is a film critic, so I found that this was a fun one to do. We love going to the movies when they were open, and we're looking forward to doing that once it's safe to do that again. So that was a fun one. Again, same thing, I just used Bic Intensity and some Jelly Roll Stardust. The last one I completed in this book is Ready, Set, Grow. I love coloring vegetables. I'm a vegetarian, so I do love vegetables. And this was another one where I felt like the color palette was a little weird because I was kind of going with what color they are in real life. But overall, I think it was pretty fun. I tried to do a little bit more outlining with some darker colors and things like that. I don't typically do that with alcohol markers. I'm trying to expand my repertoire a little more with alcohol markers so that it's not always just straight coloring, but this was still fun. And I don't think there's any glitter on this page, so that is pretty rare for me. But I felt like it looked pretty good without it, so. Did those 3 pages from Yippee-Ki-Yay, and then I also did one of Dani Banani's free pages that she offers on her website. I did this on Easter. This is Easter Extravaganza. And I just wanted to keep it Eastery with all of the pastel, colorful colors. And I always find it hard to remember that with these sort of mandalas, you can do different colors. You don't have to have it match all the way around. So that's what I tried to do with the Easter baskets, is mix it up a little bit. And I had a good time with this. I think it turned out nicely. Again, I just used my Bic Intensity markers and I think a little bit of glitter gel pen as well. So that's that. And this is just the portfolio that I keep all of my PDFs in. I had so much fun with this nail art book by Sachin Sachdeva. This was a gift from Lauren at Lauren Loves Color, and I love nail art, so this was just the perfect book. And I think I showed you guys how this book is, but there's a lot of pictures in the first half of the book with just different nails and lots of fun stuff. And then the second half of the book is a lot of different quotes with nail things and all of that surrounding it. And I was really drawn to the quotes, which I'm not usually a quote person, but I just had so much fun with this. Because they're simpler pictures, I felt like I could just do a limited color palette. What I did was, I think I picked like maybe 5 colors and just went at the page with those. So some things might be colored a little weird, but I think it kind of lends itself to this type of book. So this page, when I first saw it, I knew I instantly had to do it. It has the Holly Go Lightly thing. I love it. So yeah, what I was doing with this was I used my Tau Tree alcohol markers, really having a good time with those. And then I have some water-based glitter markers that I used for just some of the detailing on this page. I don't know if the glitter's quite getting picked up, but it is very glittery. So that was fun. And then I also, nope, that is not colored. And then I also did this page. This was actually the first page that I did in this book. And I was kind of inspired by the quote that said girl power and made it kind of a black power picture. And I just really like the pastels. And I think I added a little bit of, I did this with Tau Trees and then a little bit of, I believe it was just Jelly Roll Stardust. Maybe some metallic gel pen as well. So this is a really fun book. I can't wait to do more in here. And again, that was Nail Art by Sachin Sachdeva. Next up, I have my Camellia Angelkova books. This is the newest from her, 50 Ocean Miniatures. And I did just one picture this month as a buddy color with Danielle from Dani Buttons. We did this cute little page. I know her favorite animal are sea turtles, and my favorite animal is dolphins, so this was kind of a great picture for both of us to color, and I wanted to make it a little more bold than usual. You guys know I struggle with making pictures bold colors. I mean, I guess pastel isn't really bold, but it's definitely more colorful than I usually do. I think this book will be challenging just because there's so many ocean pictures where you could just color everything blue. And that's why I kind of wanted to make the dolphin purple, for instance, instead of blue or gray. So I think this will be a good, challenging book for me, and still, you know, the simple, cutesy pictures that we know and love from these miniature books. I used Tau Tree alcohol markers and then I believe some metallic Jelly Roll gel pens. That was 50 Ocean Miniatures. And then from 50 Romantic Miniatures, I was using this kind of as my spring miniature book before the Ocean Miniatures came out, just because I don't actually have the Spring Miniatures book from Camellia Angelkova. So I did a couple pictures in here. This one definitely looks more Valentine's Day-ish, but I just really liked the mushroom with the hearts on it. I thought that was really clever. And it was just, I knocked this out in one sitting. Maybe it took me like 45 minutes to an hour. Just something fun to do one night after work. I used my Tau Trees and some metallic Jelly Roll gel pen. And you'll see, I'm still actually working on being better with Tau Tree markers. So it kind of actually got some streakiness here. And I find with the Tau Trees that because they're thinner markers, I think it's not as saturated with the ink, I guess, pigment. So I find that they dry out faster if you kind of leave it and then come back. You know, we're kind of used to alcohol markers giving you that streakiness if you don't keep it wet on the page. But I think the Tau Trees dry up a little faster. So just a tip, if you are new to those markers or if you're considering them, just keep that in mind. And then I did a buddy color with Wrenn over at Wrenn's Coloring Craze. We did this cute picture of birds with a bird nest. This is an example of me using my alcohol blending marker to kind of lighten up the pigment. I thought it did really well for, I made them robin eggs. I have no idea if these are robins or not. But yeah, if you haven't checked out my blending marker video, I'll link it up above just so you can see how I like to use my blending marker in my completed pages. What else? Tau Tree markers and glitter gel pen, I believe. And I try to do a little bit of, not blending per se, but just layering of markers to create sort of this dimensional effect with the flowers. So that was a lot of fun. And that was from 50 Romantic Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. Okay, so this was the first picture that I colored in April, and I actually had to go back to it because I messed it up really bad. So I'll show you. This is from Jade Summer Chibi Girls Grayscale. Okay, so, oh, this is stuck to my finger. So what happened with this picture was, I think I did the bunny outfit in yellow and it looked absolutely terrible. It looked like she peed her pants in her bunny costume. it wasn't a good look, guys. So what I did was I ended up going over that yellow with a purple, but then it just made it look muddy, you know? I think kind of going over different colors with alcohol markers doesn't always work. So then I went over with my water-based glitter marker that tends to hide pretty much anything. So, you know, if I mess something up, I usually just put some glitter over it and call it a day. And that's kind of what I did with this picture. Oh, and the other thing that was super fun that happened with this picture was I ran out of one blue marker that I was using for the sky. So I tried to blend it in the middle here with my blending marker, and I think it was okay, actually. I'm not usually good with blending two colors together like that, but I think it was fine. What else? The rest is just CaliArt alcohol markers and some white Unisigno gel pen. So that was that. You know, it's not the best page, but they can't all be winners, right? So that was from Jade Summer, Chibi Girls. I did a few pages out of Color Questopia's Chibi Girls coloring book. This is one book that I'm trying to complete this year. So I did this super cute page with Meg from Meg's Art Atrium. We decided to do the cupcake page because it's so cute. And with this, I can't remember if I used Towtrees or CaliArt markers, one of the two. And I think I kept it pretty close to the original color palette, and then I just did the line work with metallic gel pen. I think it's actually purple gel pen. So that was fun. And then, let me show you this in order. I got the 96 pack of Crayola crayons, and I've been really wanting to try crayons for a long time, but I was scared to use it on a page that I really, really cared about. So what I did was I went to the back of this book to the bonus pages, and I picked this unicorn to color in crayons. So with this, I wanted to basically see if I could layer or do any sort of shading with crayons, because I haven't colored with crayons since I was a child. And I think it actually turned out pretty well. I'll probably do a video with crayons later this month, but what I tried to do was go over very, very lightly with a light crayon, and then I went back over with a slightly darker shade, I think, or sometimes I just used a little bit more pressure with the same crayon. And that's kind of how I achieved a little bit of a shaded look in some places, or like in the horse's hair, you can see there's definitely a darker color there. So with this, I didn't do any sort of, I'm sure you could use odorless mineral spirits and kind of blend things out. If you can see, it's very textured looking because it's crayon, so the wax is kind of building up where I try to do some shading. But I actually think it's kind of a cool look. So I left it as is. I didn't do any sort of blending out the texture or anything like that. So I had a lot of fun with this, and I definitely want to color more with crayon since I'm realizing now that you can create some really cool looks with that. The one thing with crayons I would say is because it's the thicker tips, it's kind of hard to stay within lines. So with this picture, what I actually did was did all the crayons before I did any of the line work, and then the Jelly Roll metallic gel pens cover up any sort of extra wax that had gone out of the lines. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't work, but it totally went over it. So you can kind of hide any sort of out of the line stuff that happens. So that was fun, and then it inspired me to do another page in crayon in this book. And I just used pretty much the same method with shading. Again, it's very elementary shading, just going around the outsides of the shapes here. Nothing crazy. So had a lot of fun with this, and I went over the lines after I did all the crayons. And I actually did something slightly different. With the line work, I usually just do one color, but with this, I actually did a bunch of colors. I did gold, blue in the sky, green in the grass, and then I think the two characters here with pink or purple. So just trying out some different things in this book. That's great about this book is that you can do so many different things with it. So again, that was Chibi Girls by Color Questopia. Next up, I worked in Cuadrados Mágicos. This is the babies version by Achat Heroes. And I did a buddy color with the lovely Cathy over at SpiceyCatColors. And for this, we decided we weren't going to tell each other what page we were doing. We were just going to pick our favorite movie out of what was available in this book. So I did Finding Nemo, and she did The Little Mermaid. And yeah, this was pretty much just straight coloring. I used my Ohuhu dual tip markers, the brush end, and just pretty much did each square on its own, I believe. Or maybe just in rows. So it was a lot of fun. I actually didn't have any color matching issues like I usually do, so I was really happy about that. So that was a fun one, and that's actually the first time I've colored in this book. So I was happy that Cathy inspired me to color in this. Now these are all, I don't know if you noticed, but these are all my color by numbers that I did this month. And I worked for the first time in Spring Awakening by Deborah Muller. So I did this cute little lamb page, and I kind of mentioned this in my book outlet haul. I'll also link that up above in case you haven't seen that. But for this book, I feel like all of the pictures are turning out really dark, and I don't know, am I like secretly colorblind or something? I don't know. I feel like my color matching is always super off. I feel like I tried to maybe match these too closely or something. I might try just looking at the color name and then saying, okay, what do I think turquoise is, and doing that. And maybe that'll turn out better. I mean, I still think it's cute, but the colors are just really wacky and a little bit too dark sometimes. So did that page. And then I also did this cute boots page, another buddy color with Meg from Meg's Art Atrium. And hers turned out really cute. A lot lighter than mine, because again, mine is super dark. But it's still so much fun coloring in this book. So that was, again, Spring Awakening by Deborah Muller. Okay, the last completed page I have is from Color Quest by Joanna Webster. I also picked this up in my book outlet haul. And Dani Buttons actually inspired me to do a buddy color with her. She doesn't know I finished this yet because I didn't think I wanted it to be finished yet. But it is. So this, I find this book so addictive. You know, like once you start coloring a number, I cannot leave without finishing that number. So I find it so fun to do these. The one thing, again, I kind of messed up with my color matching, and that's why I didn't want to be finished with it yet, but I'm just gonna call it done. I think some of these couple colors here were very close, and I didn't quite have good matches, so it's not as contrasting as I think it's supposed to be, but I think it's pretty cool already. And even though they're a large size, I feel like with some of the white spaces and things like that, it really doesn't end up taking too long, and it's just so fun to color. I'm using my Bic intensities for these. And I already have another buddy color going in this as well. So that was my final completed page, and that was from Color Quest. So the next part of this video, I want to talk about what else I will be coloring in the month of May. I have never done any sort of tracking of my coloring before, but there are so many awesome YouTubers that are keeping track of their coloring in some sort of planner or, you know, setting goals for themselves, and I really liked that idea because I kind of feel disorganized with my coloring right now. So what I am doing is I just am using some pages in my existing planner that I use for my personal tasks and things like that. And let me show you what I've done here. Okay, so what I have is, if you guys are familiar with the Happy Planner disc-bound planners, they kind of do where they have each tab for every month, and then they have like a calendar, and then they also have this sort of notes page. So I'm pretty much just using that for my planning here. On this side, I'm kind of listing my goals, what books I want to work in, what coloralongs and hashtags that I want to participate in that month, and then I can put extra notes here. I'm thinking about maybe putting some whips that I didn't finish the last month and kind of reminding myself that I should work on them this month. but I don't want to tie myself to any of those whips yet, so I haven't written anything down. But my goals for May will be to work in one untouched book, one page from one of my books to finish, one page in crayons, one picture from an eerie book for my hashtag, and then since May is my birthday month, I also want to color a birthday page and a picture of my zodiac sign, which is Gemini. And I actually got that idea from JamiesColoringLove. She does a great video about what she's planning on coloring for her birthday this month as well. The last two goals here, I want to color one nameplate page. Penny from Pebblez Adult Coloring has her year-long hashtag that she's doing, and I haven't colored a nameplate yet, so I really want to do that. And then lastly, I want to get bingo on Dani Buttons bingo. So that's what I'm kind of covering up here. Each month on her Patreon, she releases a bingo card with a bunch of prompts that you can kind of try to complete in order to get, any sort of bingo any way that you can. I think she got blackout last month, so I don't think I'll do that, but it's really fun. I highly recommend joining her Patreon to participate in the bingo that we do each month. I'll leave that link down below so you can check out her Patreon. So I keep that as a little paper in my planner here. I'm actually going to take that out so I can show you what's on the other side. And then I'm keeping track of all the coloring pages that I'm working on in what I'm calling my log here. I just have the page written down that I'm working on. If it's a buddy color, I'll check the box here. If it's a hashtag or color along, I have a column for that. And then I also have a column for if it's part of any of the goals that I'm working on over on this side of the page. So the only thing I forgot to put on here is once I complete it, what I should do. So I'll probably just maybe highlight it or something if I've completed it. So I'm still kind of working on my system here, but this is what I'm doing this month. So I'm pretty happy with it. So far I have a couple things I'm working on already, and I love that I can see what I'm doing. So because I'm a very mobile colorist, I'm constantly moving from room to room, moving from my desk to the dining room table, things like that. A lot of my stuff is scattered all over my house. So this is a good place to keep everything at the forefront of my mind and know what I'm doing, hopefully completing my whips every month. Lastly, let me talk about on this page which hashtags that I'd like to participate in this month, and I'll try to leave the information for these in the description box below. So of course, you already know about my Erie Expedition 2021 hashtag. Sorry if this is hard to read. I kind of have bad handwriting here, but I'd also like to work on May birthday coloring. That is a hashtag that Lauren from Lauren Loves Color is hosting for the month of May, since so many of us have May birthdays. And then from JamiesColoringLove, I'm working on the hashtag Cute Chibi Summer 2021. I think we're all doing chibi girls and all that stuff, so that'll be a fun one to do. And then from Shaina and Colorland, I'm working on Spring into Disney 2021. Probably use some of the pixel books that you saw already. Also from JamiesColoringLove, I would like to work on a Fab Year 2021. That's for Fabiana Atanasio pictures, and you'll see in a minute that I have plans to color in one of her books soon. And then as I mentioned, I'd like to color a nameplate for Penny at Pebblez Adult Coloring, her hashtag, my name and color 2021. Lavalia's hashtag this month is May Color Your Hoard 2021. Of course, that's her Color Your Hoard hashtag, and she's now doing it per month, so that's that. And then I'm really bad at coloring things out of season, but I really want to participate in Dani Buttons hashtag Jolly Coloring 2021, which is just Christmas pictures. And then Monet at the Coloring Diva is hosting Whimsy Girls 2021, so I'll definitely be working on that. Queen of Coloring is hosting Maria in May. That's Maria Trolley Pictures, and since I just got one of her books, I'm hoping that I can work on another page in May, but we'll see. And then finally, it is Mermay. So Elm Colors is hosting hashtag Mermay Color Along 21 that I would like to participate in. So those are all the hashtags that I'm hoping to work on in the month of May. And really quickly, I'll just show you some of the books that I'm planning on working in to kind of fulfill either my goals or the participation in my friends' hashtags here. So for my Erie hashtag and as part of my goal to complete one Erie picture, I'll be working in Romantic Country, the first tale this month. I have actually a ton of whips in here, but the page I'm currently working on, let's see if I can find it, is this double page spread of this wagon. I don't know why, just one day I was looking through this book and thought this was super cute. So slowly working on this piece by piece to get this done, but it's almost done, I would say. So, and then I have some other whips in here that I don't want to show you in case I don't finish them anytime soon. But if I can get to them this month, that would be great. Then in the Whimsy Girls Holidays book, I want to work on this for Monet's hashtag, and also I would like to work on this birthday picture to complete one of my goals to color a birthday picture for my birthday. And then there are some other May pictures in here, like a Mother's Day picture, and there's a May Day picture. So I don't know if I'll get to these, but definitely have some options in here if I want to color more. Then I also have a buddy color planned in Chibi Christmas Grayscale by Jade Summer. This would be for the Jolly Coloring 2021 hashtag hosted by Dani Buttons. Oh, I guess I'll show you the page. And here is the page that I am working on with e.r.joy, Elizabeth. I just picked up this Lulu Mayo book in my recent book outlet haul, and it is perfect for Mermay, so I'm hoping to work at least once in this book, and I really, really love this double page spread. So we'll see if I can get to that, but if not, there's plenty of other smaller pictures that would be perfect to color mermaids in. Another book that I picked up in my book outlet haul is Geomorphia. Now, I don't think this really counts for any of my goals or hashtags, anything like that. Maybe working in one untouched book. That would probably be it. But I was just so drawn and inspired by this page here, which looks like so much, but I have a vision for this. I think I want to do like all pastel colors for all the gems here. So hopefully I can get to that at some point in May. Serene Little Village by Julia Rivers is a book that was on my 10 untouched books to color in. So I haven't colored in this adorable book yet, and I really want to. And I found this really cute page that I'd like to work on if I have time. My problem with this book is that it's very detailed. It's not really intricate per se, there's just a lot to it for each and every picture in here. So it's been a little intimidating, but I hope I can work on this one. That was Serene Little Village. Tropical Ocean by Edwina McNamee is a book that I am hoping to finish at some point in my coloring life. And I actually have a buddy color planned with my friend Lisa from Coloring My Way. We're hoping to work on this fish page. So actually in this book, I had planned to use like the cover as inspiration for all the color palettes in this book. I'm using Crayola pencils in this book. So hoping to continue that with this upcoming buddy color I have. Then the last 3 books I have are Coloring Heaven books. I really need to work in some of these books. So this is the newest issue that I have so far. I think there's another one already out, but this is the one that I have received. And this is Fairy Story Special. All of these are from Fabiana Attanasio's fairy tale books. And I think you guys have probably seen the pictures in this already, but it's great because they are all single-sided, which you don't normally see in her books. So I'm excited to have this. I'm actually hoping to color this Beauty and the Beast picture. So this would count for JamiesColoringLove's hashtag a fab year 2021. Next up, I have a whip going in here, but I also want to color a Gemini picture as part of my goals for this month. So this Tanya Bond picture is so pretty, and I really hope I can get to this for my birthday. Lastly, I am working out of Creatures of the Night special by Sarah Richter, and I have a buddy color going in here with Angelina, DreamCloud51 over on Instagram. I'm not going to show my progress on it because I want her to be surprised, but that is just the last book that I'm planning on working on in May, and hopefully I can get this whip done. So I'm kind of losing my voice at this point, but I think that's all I have to share with you. I showed my completed pages and then what I'm working on in the month of May. If you guys have any tips for tracking your coloring, please let me know. I'd love to hear them since I'm just starting out on kind of doing my coloring log and my goals and all of that. So I'd love to hear what everyone else does. If you can leave a comment below, that would be great. As usual, thank you so much for subscribing and liking my videos. I hope you have a great month of coloring in May, and I will talk to you soon.